Okay, take 35 or whatever it is here. So we have Operation Market Garden. In the Overlord fashion for Memoir 44. The reason I've had to do a few takes is because I have to keep reading the rules, which is why I wanted to get the Overlords and some of the bigger editions of the game, because Memoir's fun, but it is a little simple. And so it's nice to have a little bit of the extra things going on with it. You know, you could say, here's all the 30 corps trying to go up this road, take the bridges, Eindhoven, the Val Bridge, the Nijmegen, and then, or is that Val? Okay, I could have that wrong. Anyway, this is the canal. Yeah. And then, yeah, Arnhem over here with 1st Airborne. 13 medals is what it takes to win. The Germans start with 4 temporary medals. They are for 1, 2, 3 bridges. To hold a bridge, you have to have basically no enemy on or around it. Fortunately, the rivers eliminate 2 of the hexes that people can be on, so you just have to do that. So it's kind of tough to get it, actually. I'm not even sure that the Germans need to get on there, because at least you get the protection of the woods. And then there's 13 town hexes. Once someone has the majority holding, so 7 out of the 13, that'll determine. That's the way the British, the Allies can flip it. Otherwise, it's resorted to the Germans, as do the bridges. Now, the Allies could get 7, and then at the beginning or end of the turn, I have to look which one it is, then they would have that medal. So, temp medals can help you win. However, if you have it and you go down, you lose one of those town hexes, then it would go back down to 6 and you'd lose that temporary medal again. You also get medals for eliminating units, obviously. Lots of tanks, not enough infantry. For the British to hold a town hex, they have to have someone in it, because it's a temporary hex. It's not like your traditional war game where you just pass through it and no one else is in there and you own it. No, they have to keep someone there. So I have to commit probably infantry, maybe artillery, to one of these towns and to hold them. So my forces are going to thin out as they go. They're also going to thin out potentially. The Allies start with 13 cards, 13 command cards. The Germans start with 3. Every time an Allied unit is eliminated, they lose a card immediately. The Germans get a card immediately. Randomly drawn. Then they would have 4, and they would have 12 moving forward. That's what the dice are for, to help remember where we are. Overlord runs such as this. The commander-in-chief. So usually you play with 4 people aside, a commander-in-chief and 3 people. Or maybe the middle person is the commander-in-chief. Same on that side. The commander-in-chief has cards. They basically can hand out 1 to 3 cards. You can hand off 1 or 2 cards to one section, so it's the left flank, center flank, right flank. The flanks are also divided into sections. So usually you can command one section unless it says otherwise on your card. So for example, this probe says order 2 units on the right in one section or the other. So it doesn't say in both, so you can hand it in right in one or the other. So I can order them here or order them here. The commander-in-chief, if they play a card, has to play it first. I have to look. Can the commander-in-chief play one of these cards, or is it only these blue cards? I have to look at that. So I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is order this assault all and this probe and move 2. So all in one section and 2 in one section is what I'm thinking. Vehicles are limited to 2 hexes off-road, well, except for unlike this to here, they can only move 2. Usually they can move 3. On a road, they can move 4. So these guys here could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, and then 1, 2. They can only do the 4 on a road if the whole movement's on a road. So they can go 1, 2, 3, 4 in there, or go 1, 2, and in there, and then 1, 2, move there. But if they take their time to get here, then they can move to here at that turn and then combat. And so you can do that in combat. I have to worry about these tanks here. These guys, I'm thinking, if I can eliminate everyone out of this section, then I don't have to worry about it. That section's done, and I can move forward. Pretty much going to move all these Commonwealth guys to take the towns and the bridge to try to secure that. The Germans do have a Tiger. Bad boy needs to get painted up. These guys have rafts. I'm considering getting these guys just to push over immediately so they can hurry up and get going and get on that side of the bridge, and then everyone else go up here. 101st, you're going to do what they do, maybe take Eindhoven and try to take that bridge. That'd be their goal, not worry about these guys back here. Because, the bridge would be a temporary, they could take one of those medals away from them. These are special forces, so they can move 2 in battle. The Germans do also have special forces. They're over there. That's probably like the SS that came in later. These guys are also special forces, which I don't understand. Yeah, so. Okay, so that's that. So that's the battle. They start with 3 cards. They do have a barrage, probably. Again, I'm going to have to kind of understand that. So what I'll do is I'll come back to you when I have a medal, when the first medal is won, and then I'll come back about every 3 medals probably, or if something crazy happens. All right, we'll talk to you. Again, with the order of operations, I fired these guys first, and then not them, and them, and then I emptied it out. But I should have fired them, and them, and then him, because if he did it, then he could move in and take it. But now he can't take it, so now the Germans can maybe move in there. Anyway, but they could also have had to retreat, and they still couldn't have moved in there. But that's that. And just so you know, I got these guys down to 2 units as well. Or 1 unit each. Okay, big things happening here. The British now have 3, and the Germans now have 5. A British unit over here was taken out, therefore taking the Allies down to 12 cards, and they get 4. So it's a big turn, and they eliminated one of the British units over here. But now this guy's out in the open. So, all right, that is that. We'll keep it going. As you can see there, I got Brian and Jeff watching me, and like Brian said, I'm not even paying attention to my own game. So we do have 2 medals for the British. The first guys to get medals, besides the 4 that the Germans already had. They have taken the town of Valkensvold. How do you say V's? Anyway, they did that. So they've got that town, and they eliminated a unit to get out of there. They got this guy down to 1. That doesn't matter. That's not a medal. And then they eliminated a unit here and have taken 2 towns here, but they have not taken that one yet. So that's all looking good for them right now. We'll see how it goes. So it's now 2-4, German over British. Okay, the British have just taken their temporary town medal. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 towns right now. So they just took a medal. So the score is now 4-4. They're gonna have to start cranking it out here. And I just eliminated a unit, so it's actually 5-4. I keep forgetting to count the units that I killed. These guys also got up here rolled behind enemy lines, moved 3, battled 3, knocked 2 out, and then moved back into the town. So that's kind of cool. So it's now 5-4. So that's cool. I wish they got their cards back. That'd be nice. All right, we'll talk to you. Okay, another medal 1. So now I was going to do every 3. So now we have 6-4. An armor unit was destroyed over on the Arnhem side, so they're standing their ground well. Oh, and I forgot this British rule here that anyone that survives an enemy's close assault combat without retreating and is down to a single figure may immediately battle with the enemy back. Oh man, talk on it, I forgot to do that. Shoot. Okay, I gotta remember to do that. The British can do that. All British, not just the special forces. Okay, anyway, so we're at 6-4 right now. Okay, we are now sitting at, it is now 11-4 because of the temporary medal. So they got this, they cleared these guys, they had to retreat. These guys had an armor assault, they defeated a unit, got another armor. This guy's got over here with that armor assault, got another armor unit. They pushed them back, so now they have more city. Pushing them back, got them that temporary medal, thus bumping them up to 11. So they need 2 more. It is now the Germans' attack. Their metals have not grown as much as they need. It's looking tight over here. And I do need to remember to do the British rule if they get anybody down to 1. So now this is the German turn. I gotta think about what the Germans are gonna do, so it's looking tight for the Germans. I gotta think through, I mean, they gotta get a lot. Get this tiger up here. Maybe the Germans should start attacking over here. So we'll see what we've got. We've only got 1 probe order, which would be for that side over there. That's 2 units. So maybe I do that. Maybe I get my tanks moving up and start doing that. Or maybe I shoot this arty. I got this guy down to 2. That's what I mean. I got to look at the units that don't have, like, this guy's only got 2. And I can order 2 units on that side. So maybe the tanks and them will fire on them. So I think that's what they're going to do for definitely one of the attacks. All right, we'll see you. Okay. Operation Market Garden is an Allied victory, unlike history. So, and here's why the temporary medals are good. So the last medal was won based on these guys attacking tanks. The tanks could not retreat because they were here. They needed to move here or here. They could not move towards their baseline. I do not believe you can move this way. I believe you have to move back. That's one way you can eliminate the enemy. So they lose this one, but they still have a majority held. Actually, no, let me check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so they still do have the cities, so they still get the city hex ownership. They took Arnhem and Arnhem Bridge. They did lose that, but then they would move into there. These guys would move into there. But eliminating those tanks, they actually got tank hits and eliminated them by lack of retreat 2 tanks. They were able to then get that, flip that bridge over. That becomes a temporary medal, and there you go. And that is the victory. Let's verify that temporary victory real quick. So as we look at the rules, just to verify that they actually own it here, so please hold. You can try to really understand the rules for ownership of that sort of thing. Please hold as we look through things. I will edit this out. The medal in this, okay, here we go. The medal in this objective is captured only as long as the unit of the appropriate side holds the hex. If the unit vacates the hex for any reason, the medal is immediately lost and placed back in display. Okay, so they own the hex at the end of the turn. Thus, the game is over. So, as the Allied player, wasn't threatened too much. I only lost that many stands. So it really wasn't like this tank was getting down. That guy was down to 1. That would have been 2 more count. The card thing does limit you a lot. And the Germans kind of have to stand their ground a little bit, but maybe I could be a little bit more flexible there. Oh, actually, this flipped here because the Americans took over, so they actually won this. The same turn, yep, the same turn. The Americans took the canal, so they took the Somme Bridge, and they took the Arnhem Bridge, so they actually are now 2 over the victory because they pushed these Germans back again in a retreat. So that is that. That did not go like I thought it would. I got to really think through. I read on Facebook someone won. They said they won 13-2 or 13-1 or something. So I won 14 to. It wouldn't have been 14, but it'd been 13-3. Oh, and then that would be. Yeah, that'd be one more. So it's actually 14-2. So I just need to make sure I did everything correct on that. Anyway, that's that. That was fun. This is right now fulfilling what I wanted to do, is getting some game up, have a little bit of fun, a little bit of thinking and strategy. There's a little bit of thinking about, order of operations a little bit, moving your guys out that don't need to be there to be threatened, to preserve forces. It is funny to me how much stuff just doesn't do stuff. Didn't move, moved once, didn't move. Didn't move. They shot, they moved, didn't move. British, these guys didn't move. They shot, but then that was it. So actually a lot more stuff didn't, but there's just so much that doesn't, there's just, you have so limited cards. I also wonder if you should be a little bit more patient and, try to get people up and closer to the battle. To me, there's also something to be said for having guys kind of behind objectives. So if these guys get beat, they're right there to either take it or, prepare to fight it if these guys move into the objective here. So interesting. But I don't know, when I started, I was like, I cannot see how the Allies win this. It's crazy. But now I'm sitting there going, how do the Germans win this? Now, I did see on the Facebook page another one, it was like 9-5. A lot of it depends on your cards. I seem to have got a lot of blue cards. The Allies seem to get a lot of good cards on this draw, which is pretty cool. I got to make sure I don't mix these cards up because they need to be the same. That was fun. I know someone adapted the scenario a little bit. It might be kind of fun to put air with it because, simulate the air attacks, maybe a little bit more arty. Maybe have some arty for the Germans over here to work on Arnhem a little bit. But, I have to play it a bunch of times, and I got to think they tested this a little bit. Anyway, it's fun. Really enjoyed it. So that was Market Garden 80, remembering Market Garden from 80 years ago, playing this Memoir 44. If you can get a hold of it, if you want something that's just a dice plus, you're playing with army men, you don't have to paint anything, you don't have to do any of that stuff. It's just a fun game to try stuff. There's a ton of scenarios out there. There are people make them. It wouldn't be hard to make some. You could make some adjustments to this. You could have, reinforcements come in. The reinforcements, to me, are kind of simulated by the card count. So you have limited cards, so there's less that people can do. But the more cards you can get in, the more options and opportunities you have to get better cards to do more stuff. That's one way of simulating reinforcements, I think. It's pretty cool. If I had 4 players here, especially on the German side, I think that'd be tough because it's like, sorry, you don't get to do much. But this is why you turn it around and flip it and do it again. You play again. So you can see if you can settle the score and even it out. I probably won't do that this time. The Allies won. Let's call it. I'm calling it. I'm good. I'm done. Anyway, that was fun. Good time. We'll talk to you. And go check out the other guys' channels and the games they're playing. And watch for the other videos that we got posting up about Market Garden 80. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.